Another thing I hear mentioned a lot, and you see a lot when you go to shows, is AI, right? And AI's role in testing. What's your view of it? Do you think, have you looked at what's out there? Do you think what's out there is more hype than reality? Or are we making progress leveraging AI in testing? What's your view?
So this is probably the bit where I'm going to get my hands slapped afterwards.
Oh,
But
good.
I think there's a lot of things out there that people are calling AI, which we would probably just call smart algorithms, right?
Okay.
Um, things that speed up mundane tasks for a user, for a tester. Just give an example. We have a transaction recorder in OneTest API that provides capability to understand across different data formats and things like that. Repeating elements and choices and complex rules across the whole thing. Never really thought to call that AI. It's a clever piece of kit. Don't get me wrong, but it's applying fixed rules all the time. So I think there's a lot of things in here. You often hear people talk about guided healing and things like that being AI. They're clever algorithms. And that's not to say that there isn't space for this sort of capability. I've seen some really good steps in that direction. I think more the machine learning area, particularly for performance testers, is going to come into its own. I think the problem with a lot of these things is that you need a large volume of data for them to be effective. And in test environments, particularly in DevOps test environments where things are being torn down and rebuilt, and the data sets that you're working with are valid one day, and then a couple of weeks later, the data structure is completely changed. So how are you gaining insight from that? How's your machine learning supposed to keep up with that pace of change? I think, as we mentioned before, talking about testing in production and getting insights out of production data, I think moving some of that focus to continuous quality and metrics coming from production data to start to gain insight, to say, well, this is how production is working. What insight can we gain from that that's going to help us test better in these earlier stage environments? I think that's probably where the medium term value is really going to start to come out.